We look at babies as blank slates of innocence, yet we agree that they are selfish by the lack of motor and cognitive ability. So, as humans, we could say that we are born innocent. But when we gain independence and need sustenance, we do what we can to survive. But this way of life breeds the question: when our survival changes, should our morals change with it? In an alternate reality, aliens made their presence in our universe known. They descended at the White House, where they were greeted by the army, the president, and news reporters ready to capture the beginning of a new age. They presented a new implant technology to the humans, which allowed for their bodies to use photosynthesis as a means of sustenance instead of having to kill animals for food. This technology will shift human evolution, both biologically and socially. Their leader, General OPAC, declared live on the news, ending with the president and the general shaking hands and thus beginning the new age. In the years that followed, the tilt of the world shifted. The human body adapted. Skin pigmentation took on a greenish tone. Life expectancy soared through the roof. Heart disease, high cholesterol, and diabetes saw a decline in global population. Farmland became sites of energy conservation. Carbon emissions declined and global warming slowed. Animal rights groups and environmentalists became figureheads in politics around the world and gained power. The redundancy of meat meant cultures evolved. Animals on the brink of extinction began rebounding in number, and finally, a new law was passed to make slaughter of animals a criminal offense. This period of time was known as the Golden Age. Every few months, General OPAC sets a meeting with Earth leaders. He explains that this lifestyle is the gateway into the Galactic Federation, a place with no murder, no hunger, and no hate. A place that is the safe haven. Although humanity had walked toward a golden age, moral judgment had followed wearing a new face. Groups began rejecting the implants, some for religious reasons, some because it is embedded in their culture, and some simply didn't trust the aliens. They formed underground communities online, where they share old traditions of eating meat, animal farming, and hunting culture. Those that are caught were jailed or expelled from society. Jobs turned them away in case of scrutiny. Shop staff refused to serve them, and the entertainment industry perpetuated the hate of the culture by mocking them. New human rights groups called for an emergency meeting with General OPAC. One advocate tells him, "My research shows your safe haven galaxy is disingenuous. Feelings of depression has increased as empathy weakens." Another adds, "Here shows the decreased crime rate statistics on Earth. But what the stats aren't showing is the crimes are becoming a lot harsher. I have cultivated a galaxy of peace in which you have accepted," General OPAC replied in defense. "But in doing so, you have taken away our survival instinct. In places with little sunlight, people are starving and some are resorting back to old habits." Having seen the gathered support, General OPAC realized the galaxy he governed wasn't becoming perfect, but instead, he was becoming convinced that it was perfect. Once the stats circulated the globe, more cracks started revealing itself. Groups of modified and non-modified humans disappeared from society. When they were found, their bodies showed no violence. Instead, they'd simply starved. Surrounded by people who lived on sunlight, there was no industry which made any other form of food. The world was horrified. The same society that outlawed harming animals had neglected its own people, not out of cruelty, but out of moral blindness. The aliens called it by name: moral relativism. The idea that every era believes its morals are the final version of what is right. And that belief always creates new blind spots. The world had ended animal slaughter, but it had created a new class of invisible people, a new form of harm, a new moral failure. General Opak decided to step away from the earth and reflected on his rule, in which he realized peace is not the absence of harm. Peace is the constant effort to see the harm you can't see yet. Human morality wasn't a line humans climbed. It was a circle they kept walking. The twist wasn't that aliens saved humanity. The twist was that they held up a mirror and everyone, including himself, struggled to look into it. As long as there was a perceived moral perfection, they will always be one step away from repeating old mistakes in new forms. Share this video to your friends who you think should think again. Let's talk in the comment section about the concluding reflection. Have humans ever been morally correct? Or are they only moral for the time they are in?